Amani and Matt divorce update. Is any Annie in America? That is the question, isn't it? Now, to be fair, this article brought to us by Screen Rant does start off with giving us a little bit of a background based on what we've seen in the season. Now, of course, I understand not everybody's actually watched the season. Some people come to YouTube or other platforms to find out what's going on. So let me just read this first bit here to give you guys an update on exactly the relationship that has gone down between the throuple. So, it has been said that they are the first ever throuple to appear on 90 Day History, which is actually technically a lie. The first one was actually to appear on 90 Day Love in Paradise, when we had Frankie and his two women. Yeah, that was it. But then again, it was kind of subjective because the woman that he was with in the relationship was bisexual, but then the woman that one was with was actually a lesbian. So technically, he wasn't with all of them, but hey, people like to bring it up anyway. Now, with that being said, that we continue here, where it does say, or it does ask the question, or does state the fact that at the finale, these two had, well, the three had actually broken up, or with Brenda being upset, aka Annie, being upset with Amani's behavior. Why? Because Amani was upset with the fact that Brenda did not pick her to be her wife, to be the one that she was going to marry. She was upset that she picked the one and only Matt instead, the husband of Amani. All right, now if you're confused regarding the names, just to clarify, obviously we found out throughout the season that Annie's name is actually Brenda. So I'm going to call her Brenda just to not get confused between Amani and Brenda, if you do what I'm saying. Now, with that being said, though, he does obviously go on to further explain that the two do have two children, and they've also had a long decade relationship as well. But also at the same time, Brenda also had kids of her own as well. Now, of course, he does say that the dynamic is layered, with Matt often taking a more submissive role to Amani, who confidently calls herself a boss. Yeah, about that. And also goes on to say that Amani is bisexual and was raised in a conservative in Tunisia. Okay, and she embraces her freedom to express her true self openly. Her bold personality and drive to speak her truth add a powerful dimension to their partnership, shaping their unique and evolving relationship. All right, so this is a cheeky little background regarding themselves in particular. There is a little bit more to be said here, but this part we don't really need to add per se, because you get the gist in case you haven't seen the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with that being said, it does move on to a different part of the article where it says, how did Amani and Matt meet Brenda? Well, Brenda is somebody that actually works in a strip club. Now, it does say here that Amani and Matt met Brenda during a vacation in Mexico at a club. A bartender introduced them to the stripper, and despite the language barrier, the connection between the three was natural and easy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you go to a strip club, isn't this stuff not really meant to happen in this way? I mean, I've never been to a strip club, nor will I ever be to one, because I don't see or understand the logic of me going somewhere to pay someone to dance all over me, and I'm literally teasing the F out of myself. Yeah, that is very strange. Not about that life. If I wanted to get someone to strip me, it's very simple. I put on my charm, find myself a nice little cheeky woman, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and then obviously once we get comfortable, she can do a little cheeky tease for me, a little stripper kind of performance for me, you know what I mean? And then obviously we end up with the happy ending, you know what I'm saying? And all of it I get out of just having a good charm and not actually having to spend some money. Of course, I probably would spend a little bit of money if I wanted to take her out, but you get the gist, you know what I mean? Nonetheless, though, we continue here where it does say that the couple, that the connection between the three was natural and easy. Amani had previously shared her interest in a polyamorous relationship. Meeting Brenda felt like the right moment for Amani and Matt. As they got to know her, their feelings grew stronger and they realized they had both fallen in love with her. The relationship developed naturally, and together they decided to become a throuple, building a life has three partners, which of course we saw did, definitely bring some challenges, given the fact that Brenda had not even told her family yet because she wasn't too sure how to navigate certain things without their relationship. Of course, these are the things that we did see, and she did finally tell her mother, I believe it was, her auntie, I think it was auntie, that yes, she wants to be in a relationship with both a man and a woman. And, luckily she was given their blessing. The only thing is, though, when it comes to the children, I don't know if the kids have actually met each other just yet, which is very strange, because imagine that. Your kids haven't even met your kids, and yet you're already talking about divorcing each other, so therefore you can go marry, so one of you can go marry the other person, yet you don't even know if your kids get along with her kids. Make that make sense, ha! Yeah, and these people try and act as if they're all like organized and civilized. But nonetheless, though, it does say here that Amani discovered Annie's dirty secrets on season 11. Okay, secret identity and unfinished marriage, which is obviously something else that went down within the season itself in particular, where it does talk about who had introduced a single mother from Tijuana, Mexico, was revealed to have a hidden past. Her real name was disclosed as Brenda, a detail she had kept from her partners Matt and Amani. This revelation came to light through conversations with her ex-partner Ray, who had previously shared a bank account with her under the name Brenda. This discovery of her real identity raised questions about her transparency and intentions within the relationship. Additionally, it was uncovered that Annie had not legally finalized a previous marriage, leaving her technically still married. This lack of legal closure added complicity to the current relationship with Matt and Amani, who were considering bringing her to the United States. The combination of these secrets led to significant tension and uncertainty about the future of the Throuple's dynamic. Matt and Amani were left questioning Annie's, or should I say Brenda's, honesty and commitment, casting doubt on the viability of their unconventional relationship. And let's be real, when you got a relationship with just two people, communication is everything. When you got it between three people, communication is even more important. But of course, when it came down to that, they decided to look past it and still wanted to proceed with the whole idea of getting married, which is then when Brenda was asked the question, who shall you marry? Who do you want to marry? Was it Matt or was it Amani? Well, Brenda decided to pick Matt. And to be fair, reasons were justified because she wants the man to be the man of the house, the man to be the one that makes all the decisions, the man to be the leader, the man to be the man. And also because she was afraid that if Amani was ever to be the one that she married and became the head of the household, well, then she's worried that due to Amani's bipolar nature, I mean, not medically, but just the way she behaves, she was afraid that what if she moves in with them and then one day she does something to annoy Amani and then Amani then decides to kick her out and her child out of nowhere. Which, to be fair, makes a lot of sense. The woman was just trying to protect herself because it does say here that Amani had dreams of a wedding. So she was heartbroken when Annie chose, aka Brenda, chose to marry Matt instead of her, which of course has not been confirmed to have happened just yet, just in case you're new, okay? That is something that we discovered on the last two episodes, but we do not know if they actually ended up getting married to Matt, or even if the divorce was even finalized. So yes, we are waiting to find that out at the tell-all, but it does say here that after the decision was made, the throuple returned to their hotel room and Amani found it difficult to hide her emotions. She struggled to process the fact that the woman she loved and had picked someone else to share a major commitment, though she maintained her composure. Amani felt deeply hurt. She still wanted to support Annie and be the partner she promised to be, but the pain of being passed over lying beneath the surface of her support, which is of course what brought all the tension that I spoke about previously, obviously, in this video before I read the statement itself in particular, which does continue by saying, has Amani tried to make sense of Annie, or aka Brenda's decision? Brenda questioned whether she was upset. Amani admitted she wasn't happy, just trying to understand the choice, and Brenda sensed Amani's discomfort and speculated that it stemmed from her desire to remain in control of the relationship. Amani, however, was filled with doubt, wondering if she had pushed Brenda too hard, whether emotionally or encouraging her to come out to her family. She feared that Brenda might love Matt more or prefer a traditional future with a man, leaving Amani feeling excluded and unsure of her place. And let's be real, if Brenda was to marry Matt, then that means she's no longer married to anybody, and therefore if these two decided to basically bounce, illegally they have that power. Well, I mean, they still don't, well, they have the power legally due to papers, but you know, yeah. It is a calamity, but to be honest with you, anybody that would divorce their husband to allow their husband to marry somebody else, you know what I call them? I call them the Garricks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is no, that's not their last names, is it? My apologies. But if you've seen Sick and Sister Wife, you got Danielle and Garrick. What is their last name now? Oh God, I forgot. Merrifields. That's it. I call it the Merrifields because in that one, Danielle literally divorces her husband so he can go and marry a bunch of other women. It's a whole calamity. Yeah, fair enough, you found a woman in another country, but I wouldn't trust the process personally. Now, of course, it does say that Matt and Amani are still together, but what about Brenda though? Despite the emotional challenges they faced during 90 Day Fiance season 11, Amani and Matt appear to still to be together. Although Brenda's decision to marry Matt created tension, Amani and Matt remain committed to one another and their unique family dynamic. In May 2025, Amani went on a trip to Colombia with Matt, but Brenda had not accompanied them there. Amani does post content with Brenda and Matt on her IG, but it seems to be content she created before and during filming 90 Days. Yeah, to be fair, I do agree with that. That's exactly how it comes across. In one of her more recent story, my apologies, Instagram stories, Brenda shared a clip of her argument with Amani from the 90 Day Fiance season finale and wrote, "Never return to where you are cautiously harmed," with a crying emotion or emoticon. Yeah, whatever. Brenda has only liked a comment from someone saying, which says, "I don't think they are throupling." Is that even a word? Probably not anymore. "I don't think it's worked out. Good for you guys. Live your best life." Suggesting things didn't work out between the throuple, and Brenda won't be coming to the US anytime soon. Which again, this is something that we have to wait and find out at the tell, because the tell will tell us everything that we need to know. Well, usually we find out a bit more information at the tell, and then after that, cast members then start to tell us the truth of what's actually happening. Are they still with this person, or are they not? Did they have a kid, or did they not? Blah 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 blah. So really and truly, you probably have to wait until the tell all, and then also after that too. Now I will say this: I've also got another video coming regarding the drama with these three, because Brenda at the same time then accused Amani of purposely, or purposely not paying her the money that she owed her. Well, not owed her, but obviously, it was a discuss that, of course, if she's moving to the United States, well, then Amani would pay, obviously, for her bills and all that kind of stuff. And, well, when it came to it, well, Brenda felt as if Amani was now going back on her word. But Amani did come out with some proof to prove, the claim. So I'll be back with another video, okay, guys, to give you that confirmation as well of the proof that Amani has provided. Well, but with that being said, though, thank you so much for your time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a good day. Peace.